My treasures, she said, voice sharp and commanding, her silver skin glinting like molten metal under the ship's light. I place them in your hands. Guard them with your life. I will know if you fail. I swallowed. Mistress, you can count on me. I'll keep them safe, untouched, polished, gleaming. The way she raised a brow made me second-guess my choice of words, but I pushed through. No one will handle your rod except me. No one will stroke your orbs. No one will dare peek into your sacred box. Her lips twitched, a smirk she was too disciplined to fully allow. See that you don't disappoint me, human. These treasures are irreplaceable. When she turned and swept out of the chamber, the air seemed colder. Just me, alone with a pedestal stacked high with glowing alien relics, humming faintly like oversized toys designed to get me fired from any job on Earth. I paced around them, hands behind my back like some ceremonial god. All right, I muttered. You're mine to protect. Rod, orb, box. Mistress has entrusted me with her valuables. The orb pulsed, as if mocking me. Hours passed, and my brain, traitorous as ever, filled the silence with commentary. Rod, you're looking firm today. Nice structure. Very stable base. I reached out, then yanked my hand back. No touching. Strictly professional. To the orb, I whispered, smooth as glass, glowing just right. You've got a way of catching the eye, don't you? Mistress must polish you every day. I laughed nervously. Not that I'm jealous. Not at all. The box sat silently, carved with runes that looked far too intentional. You're the mysterious one. What secrets do you hide? Don't worry, I won't pry. My job is to guard, not to peek. Even if curiosity burns me alive. My words bounced back in the empty chamber, turning serious duty into absurd pillow talk. Still, it kept me sane. A pair of alien technicians wandered by the doorway, their wide eyes catching sight of me crouched in front of the pedestal, whispering. They froze. I panicked. Hey! I barked, pointing at them. No touching the mistress's rod. They squeaked and bolted like frightened children. Great. By tomorrow, the whole station would be gossiping that the human was in an illicit affair with Her Highness's artifacts. I sighed, sinking to the floor. This is what happens when she leaves me alone. Talking to objects. Mistress would laugh herself breathless if she knew. She probably planned this test just to see if I'd crack. But I didn't crack. I filled silence with chatter, kept my eyes sharp, and gave meaning to every minute. I started making rules. Rule 1. The treasures must never be left unsupervised. Rule 2. No alien fingerprints on the orb. Rule 3. Absolutely no one, under any circumstances, gets access to the box. I practiced my stern guard voice, booming into the air, hands off the mistress's goods. Then softer, like a lover's plea, please don't touch what isn't yours. I switched tones back and forth until my own laughter echoed in the chamber. I imagined Mistress listening from afar, her regal face twitching between annoyance and amusement. Maybe she'd scold me. Maybe she'd smirk and say, "You really do take everything literally, don't you, human?" But there was something deeper too. Beneath the comedy, beneath the awkward mutterings and over-explaining, was loyalty. She trusted me. She didn't trust anyone else with her treasures. Just me. That mattered. So I stood straighter, adjusted my uniform, and repeated firmly, "Mistress, your treasures are safe. Not even a fly will land on them. I'll keep your rod upright, your orb shining, your box sealed tight." The hum of the relics grew louder, or maybe my imagination played tricks. I didn't care. I meant it. Every word. I leaned closer, almost conspiratorial. "You know, orb, you remind me of her. Bright, untouchable, beautiful. Makes me nervous just being near you. If she ever knew I said that, I'd be executed, but hey, secrets are safe with you." A chuckle bubbled out of me. This was insane. Guard duty turned into accidental confessions to furniture. But hell, better than silence. Minutes blurred into hours. Every creak outside made me jump, every shadow stretched like a thief reaching for forbidden goods. I kept my stance, alert, but couldn't stop my mouth from running. That's the human edge, I muttered. We don't shut up. We don't go quietly. We fill the dark with noise, with jokes, with dumb lines. We hold on until morning. My voice rose with confidence, even if the treasures didn't care. Mistress can test me all she wants. I'll guard what's hers, even if the whole galaxy laughs at me. I'll keep her rod polished, her orb glowing, her box safe. And when she comes back, she'll see, humans don't fail. Not when it matters. The pedestal pulsed faintly, like it approved. I grinned. Good talk, I said, settling back down. Now, let's get through this night together. You, me, and the Mistress's treasures. A threesome of loyalty. Platonic, of course. Well, mostly. The nights were the hardest. Silence stretched on like a test of sanity, the kind of quiet that made every tick of my heartbeat sound like a drum. I talked just to fill the void, because if I didn't, the treasure's hum would eat me alive. Rod, you stand tall every day without complaint. I respect that. Honestly, I wish I had your stamina. Mistress clearly knows how to pick her favorites. I gave it a salute, dead serious, then cracked up at myself. My laughter bounced off the walls like I'd told the funniest joke in the galaxy. The orb pulsed in its usual rhythm, steady, glowing like it was mocking me. You're a tough one, huh? Smooth, cold, glowing all mysterious. You think you're better than me? Mistress sure acts like you're her pride and joy. Well, you don't have lips, do you? You can't tell her what she means to you. That's my edge. Talking like this became routine. I gave them personalities. The rod was stoic, the orb was smug, and the box, the box, was mysterious and sultry, like it was keeping Mistress's deepest secrets just to tease me. Box, you drive me crazy. Sitting there, sealed, daring me to peek inside. Don't tempt me. I've sworn loyalty. Still, you know exactly how to get a man's curiosity burning. A shadow moved past the doorway. I froze, then relaxed. Just another nosy alien. I knew they'd talk. They always did. The gossip mill was probably on fire by now. The human whispers to relics, confesses forbidden things to shiny objects. Let them laugh. At least I wasn't bored. The truth was, I wasn't just talking nonsense. Every word had a kernel of honesty. Guarding these things wasn't about relics. It was about her. The Mistress. She trusted me enough to leave me here, alone, with her most prized possessions. Every joke I cracked at the treasures was really a line meant for her, lines I didn't have the guts to say out loud. I practiced them like speeches. Mistress, you shine brighter than any orb. You're strong, like your rod, unyielding. You keep secrets like your box, but I want to know them. I want to know you. Saying it to the treasures was easier than saying it to her. They didn't roll their eyes or cut me down with a single glance. They just hummed, pulsed, and glowed, like patient listeners. One night, I decided to record myself. A voice log. Totally professional, of course, just proof of vigilance. At least, that's what I told myself. I set the recorder down, cleared my throat, and spoke with forced authority. Mistress, your treasures are safe. I watch them day and night. No hand touches your rod without my permission. No thief dares breathe on your orb. And your box remains sealed under my guard. I paused, then leaned in closer. My voice dropped. I take this job seriously. Too seriously, maybe. Because every time I look at them, I think of you. And every time I joke, it's just covering up the truth. You trusted me, and I don't want to fail. Not with the treasures, not with you. The words hung heavy in the room. I should have stopped there. But once the dam broke, I kept going. I've wanted to say it for so long. You're intimidating, flawless, untouchable. But that's exactly why I can't stop thinking about you. If these treasures are your heart, then I've been guarding your heart all along. And Mistress, I'd never let anyone take it from me. Click. Recording saved. My cheeks burned hot, even though I was alone. Great, I muttered. Now if anyone ever finds that file, I'll be executed for unprofessional conduct. But damn, it felt good to say. The days blurred into more nights. My little family of artifacts kept me company. I polished them like sacred relics, carefully, reverently, all while muttering commentary no sane God would admit to. Easy now, Rod, you're slippery with oil. Shine, shine, don't you dare droop on me. Aliens spied through windows, covering their mouths in shock. Some probably bet on how long it would take before the humans snapped. They had no idea this was just how we survive. Humor, even in madness. Once, a pair of guards passed by and caught me whispering, "Box, I know you're keeping secrets from me. But I'll be patient. When the mistress returns, maybe you'll open up." They ran off cackling, probably reporting that I was begging a container to bear itself. Let them. Rumors didn't matter. All that mattered was the pedestal remained untouched, treasures unbroken, loyalty unshaken. The longer I stayed, the more I realized this test wasn't about physical strength. It was about patience, about sanity, about whether a human could endure endless solitude without breaking. Any other species would have gone mute or gone mad. But me? I cracked jokes. I poured my heart into objects. I kept myself alive with wordplay and innuendo. That's the human edge. We find meaning in nonsense. We laugh at silence. We confess to glowing rocks just to keep our souls from rotting. And if Mistress ever listened to those recordings, if she ever discovered how many nights I whispered her name through the treasures, she'd know the truth. I wasn't just guarding her relics. I was guarding the parts of myself I couldn't give her face to face. One night, I sat cross-legged in front of the pedestal, staring at them with a smile. You know, Orb, you're a good listener. Rod, you've been standing tall longer than I could. And Box, you're killing me with suspense. But together, you're keeping me alive. And when she comes back, she'll see, I didn't just guard treasures. I guarded something deeper. Something human. The orb pulsed. The rod vibrated faintly. The box remained still. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe it was my own exhausted brain. But I grinned anyway, leaning in. Don't tell her yet, I whispered. But I think I'm in love with her. The first sign of trouble was the hiss of a vent opening where no vent should have been. I froze, hand halfway through a routine polish of the rod, cloth dangling, eyes narrowing. I wasn't alone anymore. A shadow slithered across the wall, too fast, too quiet. Then another. Raiders. Thieves. Someone finally decided to test whether the human could really defend the mistress's prized possessions. I straightened, cleared my throat, and barked the first thing that came to mind. Step away from the mistress's goods. A snicker from the dark. More than one intruder. Great. They stepped into the light, cloaked figures with tools glinting. Their eyes went wide when they saw me standing in front of the pedestal, cloth still in hand. One muttered, "Is he shining it?" I grinned. Damn right I am. This rod gets more attention than your entire crew. They blinked. Confusion buys time, and humans thrive on time. The tallest one growled. Move aside. The treasures belong to no one but whoever's strong enough to take them. Funny, I said, planting my feet, that's exactly what I told your mom last night. They hissed. One lunged. I didn't think, I improvised. The polishing cloth snapped out like a whip, stinging the raider's hand. He yelped, more shocked than hurt, but it gave me a second to grab the rod and hold it like a weapon. Stay back. This rod is Mistress's pride, and I've been practicing with it every night. The innuendo wasn't lost on them, their hesitation proved it. Aliens weren't used to humans playing word games mid-combat. Another raider circled toward the orb. My heart jumped. No way I'd let them touch it. Hands off her glowing ball. One finger and you'll regret it. I leapt between him and the pedestal, rod raised like a bat. My swing was clumsy but full of panic-fueled strength, and the raider ducked with a hiss. Crazy human, one muttered. Crazy, yes, I shot back, but loyal. You have no idea how far I'll go to keep my mistress's box sealed. They laughed, the wrong kind of laugh, the kind that said they thought I was weak. That was fine. Underestimation is the best shield a human has. I grabbed duct tape from my pack, yes, duct tape. The universal miracle. They scoffed until I slapped it over a vent, then another, sealing their escape routes in seconds. Rule 1 of guarding treasures, I said, panting, never let the rats back into their holes. The shortest raider lunged again. I sidestepped, yanking a chair leg loose from the corner and brandishing it. You want the treasures? You'll have to wrestle my stick first. Alien confusion deepened. Their weapons hummed with deadly energy, but they couldn't get past the ridiculousness of my banter. That's the edge. Throw them off balance, keep them second-guessing. One reached for the box. My chest burned with anger. Don't you dare touch her box. That's sacred territory. I slammed into him shoulder first, sending him crashing against the wall. Pain shot through me, but adrenaline drowned it. Another hissed, why defend objects with your life? You're just a human. I spat blood and grinned. Yeah, just a human. The kind who doesn't quit. The kind who'll stand between you and this pedestal even if it kills me. We don't need claws or fangs, we've got stubbornness. And bad jokes. Lots of them. I hurled the rod like a spear. It clanged off the wall, making the raiders scatter. I snatched up the orb with both hands, holding it like a grenade. Back up, or I'll blow us all to pieces. Mistress didn't say I couldn't use her treasures creatively. Their eyes widened. They didn't know if I was bluffing. Honestly, I didn't either. The orb pulsed in my hands, humming louder, maybe responding to my reckless grip. Perfect. Let them sweat. One hissed. He's insane. Insane? Buddy, I've been talking to this orb for 2 weeks straight. I'm way past insane. But you know what? That's exactly why you're not winning tonight. I lunged forward, orb raised. They panicked, scattering for the vents. The taped-over exits slowed them, made them trip and curse, scrambling like cornered rats. I chased them with the orb, yelling things like, "You'll never lay hands on her jewels," and "Get out before I use this ball the way it's meant to be used." They fled, disappearing down the corridor, their muttered insults fading into silence. I was left panting, sweating, clutching the orb like a lunatic with a trophy. Slowly, I placed it back on the pedestal, whispering, "Safe again, glowing beauty. No one touches you but me." I collapsed onto the floor, laughing through the ache in my ribs. Pain meant I was alive. Bruises meant I'd done my job. And humiliation? That was just part of being human. I tapped the recorder. My voice came out ragged but proud. "Mistress, intruders attempted to violate your treasures. I repelled them. They will think twice before reaching for your rod, your orb, or your box again. Everything remains intact. Mission successful." I let the recorder click off, then added softly, "I told you I wouldn't fail you. Not now, not ever." The orb pulsed gently, like it was nodding. Or maybe I was delirious. Either way, the treasures were safe. That was what mattered. And deep down, beneath the jokes and bravado, I knew this wasn't just about objects. It was about her. Every bruise, every scar, every ridiculous line I shouted into the dark, I did it for her. For the mistress who trusted me. For the woman I could never confess to without hiding behind innuendo. I leaned back, eyes closing, whispering, "Come back soon. I want you to see I'm worthy of guarding more than just treasures." The chamber door hissed open, and her silhouette filled the frame. Regal, cold, unreadable. The mistress had returned. I scrambled to my feet, straightening torn sleeves and wiping dust from my chest like it could hide the bruises underneath. She swept her gaze over the pedestal, treasures gleaming exactly as she left them. No scratches, no marks, not even a hint of theft. Then her eyes locked on me. "You survived." "Barely," I admitted, standing straighter. "But your rod remained firm, your orb untouched, and your box sealed. No one lays hands on what's yours." Her lips curved faintly, halfway between smirk and sneer. She circled the pedestal, fingertips grazing the orb, lingering just long enough to make my throat go dry. Impressive. Few could have fended off intruders. I'm stubborn, I said. It's the only thing we humans are truly unbeatable at. She paused, attention shifting to the console. The recorder blinked red. My stomach dropped. I'd forgotten to erase them. She pressed a finger to the play button. My voice filled the chamber, uncomfortably loud. Mistress, your treasures are safe. I watch them day and night. No hand touches your rod without my permission. No thief dares breathe on your orb. And your box remains sealed under my guard. Her brows lifted. My voice shifted lower. Every time I look at them, I think of you. If these treasures are your heart, then I've been guarding your heart all along. And Mistress, I'd never let anyone take it from me. Silence. My face burned hotter than any alien sun. I tried to laugh it off. You know, long nights, boredom, little jokes to keep sane. She interrupted with a single word. Jokes. Yes. Jokes, wordplay, harmless chatter with glowing artifacts. Perfectly normal human coping mechanisms. She tilted her head, eyes narrowing. So when you confessed you were in love with me, also a joke? I froze. My mouth opened, closed, opened again. That part was less of a joke. Her gaze softened, barely. The mistress who ruled empires, who commanded armies, now looked at me like she was peeling back layers I didn't know I'd shown. You risked your life for my treasures. You endured solitude with nothing but your wit. And in the end, you spoke truths no other would dare. I swallowed hard. I'm human. We hide behind humor. But when it matters, we mean what we say. She stepped closer, so close I could see the faint shimmer of her skin, hear the measured cadence of her breath. You guarded my treasures. But more importantly, you guarded your own heart, until it spilled into these recordings. Guess I failed the test then, I muttered, rubbing the back of my neck. No, she said, voice firm. You passed. In ways you do not yet understand. Her hand brushed the orb, then drifted upward, fingers stopping just short of my chest. Loyalty. Resilience. Passion hidden under crude jokes. You've shown me what it means to entrust something precious to a human. I laughed nervously. So, what now? You want me to keep polishing your rod forever? Her lips twitched. Perhaps. But maybe it is time I entrusted you with something more fragile than relics. My heart pounded. Like what? Her eyes glinted. Like me. The words hit harder than any raider's blow. For once, I was speechless. All the rehearsed lines, all the jokes, all the innuendos vanished into nothing. All I could manage was a whisper. You mean that? She leaned in, close enough that her breath brushed my ear. You are my protector, my human, my fool, but perhaps also, my partner. A laugh burst out of me, half disbelief, half relief. I knew talking to your box would pay off one day. She actually laughed, low and musical. You are insufferable. Yeah, I said, grinning, but I'm yours. The orb pulsed between us, as if sealing the unspoken pact. For the first time, the mistress didn't look untouchable. She looked reachable, real. I thought of all the rumors outside these walls, all the aliens whispering that the human was insane, romancing artifacts. Let them whisper. The truth was stranger and funnier. A human's ridiculous stubbornness had cracked an alien empress's armor. I reached out slowly, offering my hand. She hesitated, then placed hers in mine. Cool, smooth, strong. You've proven you can protect my treasures, she murmured. Now let us see if you can protect something far more dangerous. What's that? I asked. Her smile was sly, almost wicked. My heart. The chamber hummed with energy, the relics pulsing like they approved. And for once, I didn't need jokes, didn't need innuendo. I just held her hand and whispered, I won't fail you. Of course, a beat later, I ruined the moment with a grin. But for the record, your rod still needs polishing. Her laugh echoed like victory, like forgiveness, like something new beginning.